Welcome back to the Brickyard 400 under our 5th caution. Make sure to go to NASCAR.com for all your latest NASCAR information. We've got debris on the racetrack and a 3.7-second lead for Juan Pablo Montoya, who has now led 84 laps and secured the 5 bonus points for only the 3rd time in his career. The other 2 times he finished 3rd and 11th in those races. Right now he's up front ahead of teammate Jamie McMurray, Greg Biffle 3rd, Clint Boyer 4th, and Tony Stewart is 5th. As far as the lucky dog this time around, it'll go to David Reagan. We'll put 23 cars back on the lead lap, and so let's talk a little strategy now that we got all that sorted out.
Same as last time, 4 tires and fuel. And you just can't afford to do anything else. Tires are worth too much here. You can't really afford to do any 2-tire strategy if you're going to win this thing.
And these guys get paid a lot of money to make that call that quick.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. But you may see some guys back that are outside the top 10 decide to try 2 tires. They don't have a lot of laps on the left side tires.
We'll see how it works for them.
Well, you know, it's just an opportunity. They're not going to win the race. They may not be able to drive their way into the top 10. They could try to steal a few positions here.
Well, I would advise against it.
I would too, yes. But we always see somebody willing to take a little bit of a chance.
Well, remember, Jeff Gordon, he would be able to stay out and get the wave around, get back on the lead lap. He stopped with about 32 laps to go, so this may end up getting him back at least into a respectable finish.
Yeah, I would say that they'll try to do that. Since he is probably in his fuel window to finish the race, especially with these cautions. So may not be the finish they were looking for, but it could salvage something.
4, planning on 4.
Well, just made you look like a good guy there, planning on 4.
Well, let's see how it works out.
It's Greg Biffle's radio that we were listening on. Got to be 55 miles an hour coming down pit road. And Vince, we're going to let you take it away.
Well, Tony Stewart's pit crew has done a great job all day long gaining him positions in the pits, and they need a couple of spots here as he comes in 5th. Tony says the forward bite is the best it has been all day long. So they're going to make a slight track bar adjustment and 2 tires for Tony Stewart, Doc.
Clint Boyer begging Shane Wilson, guys, we got to go back on the air pressure. We got to get it back. The first couple laps of the restart, I can't even get the car to turn in the corner at all. They have gone back. Dave.
The 2 leading cars from Earnhardt Ganassi Racing with Felix Sabates will do different things. Jamie McMurray takes 2. Juan Pablo Montoya, he wanted to go for 4, and that's interesting because McMurray thought he might have a flat. I hope it wasn't on the left side.
Wow, Montoya takes 4, Biffle takes 4, and look where they come out. 7th, 8th, Boyer, 9th, Busch, 10th. A 2-tire strategy by the first 6 cars, and Kurt Busch picks up 8 spots. We'll see which strategy plays out. This is going to be good.
Back in February, opening the NASCAR season, Jamie McMurray won the Daytona 500, driving an Earnhardt Ganassi racing car, giving team owner Chip Ganassi a win in stock cars' biggest event. Then Ganassi came to the Indianapolis 500 and won it on Memorial Day weekend. Now, Chip Ganassi trying to become the man who can win both the Daytona 500, the Indianapolis 500, and the Brickyard 400 in the same season. Jamie McMurray, the new leader of the event. Juan Pablo Montoya, the dominant driver on the day, finds himself back in 7th place for this late restart after a shuffle of strategy on the caution flag. Let's talk about it with all our ESPN NASCAR analysts. Saw 6 cars do right side tires. And now the guy who was leading chose to do 4. Rusty, you start.
Oh, I would have been dead wrong, Alan. I thought those guys would have put 4 tires on, but they didn't. The top 6 cars, like you said, 2 tires. Montoya is just probably broken-hearted right now that this has happened to him. But the rest of these guys are going to have to drive their brains out. It's probably going to get pretty physical. Remember, NASCAR said, hey, boys, have at it. So I think we're going to see a little bumper banging going on out there right now.
But, Rusty, I agree with you. We would have maybe been wrong, but I don't think so. I think 4 tires still may be the right call here. If I'm sitting where Brian Patty's sitting, I've got the fastest car. I'm going to put 4 tires on it. 19 laps around here still, or 18 laps is still a long way around. I think that what's going to happen is the left side tires are going to give up. The guys on 4 tires are still going to have the bottom and drive to the front.
Good point. You might be right. That's for sure.
Let's hear from the crew chief who made the call for right side tires only while running 2nd, Dave.
And that was Kevin Bodomanian. Okay, I understand the track position thing, but then your driver says I might have a flat, and then he kind of locks them up coming in. Are you okay?
Yeah, the tires are fine. There's 2 runs
sessions in a row, I believe we had a flat, and I think the splitter's getting a little bit worn, and it's causing a small vibration, which he thinks he has a flat. So fast stroke Chevy's good to go to the end. I noticed Tony Stewart been coming earlier in the race. I noticed him last run, and now I noticed him second. So, you know, Indy and Tony Stewart go together, and we'll just have to wait and see. We've had a great race. Need to, you know, we still have one who's the king of Indy, and Biffle's been really fast, both on 4 tires. So it's going to be an exciting race. I hope everyone on the couch holds on.
You got to beat the best when they're at their best, and the one team, they're trying.
All right, thanks, Dave. Let's listen in on the 42 radio.
Well, we'll see in about 15-20 minutes when I made the right call. E7 to the inside. Just do the best you can. You got to get pretty aggressive here.
All right, green flag's coming. The 7 waiver rounds. Hamlin, Allmendinger, Smith, Newman, Johnson, Hornish, and Jeff Gordon. Up front, it's McMurray and Stewart in the front row. Then Harvick and Martin. Then Kurt Busch and Jeff Burton. And then Montoya and Biffle rounding out your top 8. And we're back to green flag racing. And boy, McMurray jumps and takes a big lead into one.
Yeah, it's like almost like Tony Stewart was asleep at the wheel there on that restart. Great start for McMurray.
Kevin Harvick into second. Look at all the action in behind them coming through too. That's Biffle and Montoya side by side. Remember,
he's got him right there.
And you heard Montoya's crew chief tell him you might have to get a little bit aggressive. I think he's got the right man to do the job.
Although right now he's about to get passed by 2 other cars, including Kyle Busch. There goes the 33 of Boyer, and here comes Busch. So Montoya, who has dominated all day, all of a sudden finds himself deep trouble with the laps running down. 17 next time by.
Yeah, and here comes Kevin Harvick up for the lead too.
Down the front straightaway, there's Harvick as he is closing on the #1 of Jamie McMurray.
Well, the best thing that happened to these guys that took 2 tires were that 6 of them decided to do that, and that separated them, let them get out here in this clean air, maybe be able to decide this among themselves if we don't have another caution.
Yeah, they almost buried those guys that took 4 tires in this dirty air, and you can see how much it's worth.
Back in 3rd, that was Tony Stewart. Remember, at halfway, he was 13th. Look at further back. Montoya is still trying to get around. Here comes Carl Edwards taking a peek underneath. Kyle Busch has taken a spot away from him.
Well, we saw this very thing when Montoya got back in traffic last year at the end of the race after being dominant. He just couldn't make up any ground then.
He is 9th right now on the racetrack, and he is losing ground to his teammate. He's 2.5 seconds behind the race lead. The front 2 are trying to check out from Tony Stewart and Mark Martin and company. Coming into 2, you see Jeff Burton taking a look underneath. He's going to go underneath Mark Martin. Here comes Greg Biffle. Biffle, the 4 tires seem to be working better for him, definitely, than Montoya.
Well, he's definitely the fastest car on 4 tires right now.
As we watch both ends of the track right here, Harvick taking a peek, but will not try and make the move going into 3.
Oh, what a great call this has been for Kevin Harvick. He's been solid all day, but nothing up at the front.
Now, this is the closest sniff he has had to the race lead all day long.
Man, he is working McMurray over right here. You might have him.
Coming down the stretch. Boy, look at this. Kevin Harvick makes it look easy this time as he becomes our 10th. Oh, no, trouble right at the pit end.
Montoya. Yeah, we're leaders.
It's like Montoya and Jr.
Now, we'll have to wait to see when the yellow came out. I do believe Kevin Harvick will stick as the race leader.
It is Montoya.
Juan Pablo has damage to the right side. You're right, Andy. Look at this. Oh, man, what disappointment for the 42.
Well, so much for my call for 4 tires. I was agreeing with that, but it looks like it cost Montoya. Huge.
He led 86 laps today and now finds himself heading for the garage.
Yeah, this caution could be Greg Biffle's best friend. That might be his opportunity to utilize those 4 tires when we go back to green.
There's the damage to Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car.
Need some tape for that fender band.
Chip Ganassi, Juan climbing out. Let's go back and see exactly what happened.